Hi, good morning. This is sirishavarma from brandingbypixels, and today is the last day of 2021. I generally record a business book review video on Saturday, but I wanted to do this video today instead because I wanted to complete all of my videos for 2021 without fail. And the book that I'm going to review today is an amazing book. So if you are actually looking at starting new habits through 2022, then this book will be a perfect introduction to that. So the book I am going to review today is called as The Perfect Day Formula by Craig Ballantyne. If you try to look at the author, Craig Ballantyne was the one who introduced short burst fitness trainings into the fitness industry and to individuals like us. So if you have been part of any fitness trainings previously, or if you have been part of this company, which is the Cult Fit, then you must have seen these in action, wherein within a short span of time, they make you do some very fastidious kind of workouts, which will try to get you many more calories burnt. So that is what Craig Ballantyne has done. He has invented these programs and he has introduced them to people like you and me, and also to the fitness community. He was able to sell products to the fitness community wherein they could, using that training, create information products by themselves to start working with their customers. And with these kind of services, he has touched more than 1,75,000 people. If you look at the book that I have reviewed last week, which is The 5 Laws of Success in Business or Life, the Gogiver Book, you understand that one of the laws in there is about the scale or the influence that you can create with people. So the more number of people you can touch and the more number of people you can sell your services to, the richer you will become. So if Craig Ballantyne has touched 1,75,000 people in that scope, you can understand how much money he has made. And it is just not about money, it is also the influence that he has created over these people's lives. So that is the author's introduction. Let us get into the specific book. Again, this book is a very small book. It is around 117 pages if you are reading it on Kindle desktop. So you could actually buy it over the weekend and complete it and start incorporating it into your life. The book, as I said, is called as The Perfect Day Formula. And the book starts with this concept of we defining specifically what sort of person we want to be. Write it down on a piece of paper and then keep looking at it every single day. This is said by none other than Epictetus. Epictetus was born as a slave way back during the Greek regime, and while he was born as a slave, he rose up to become an esteemed philosopher of the society. Just try to understand the scale of things that he must have gone through to rise from being born as a slave, wherein he did not have any control on his life, to becoming an esteemed philosopher of the society. Most of us keep complaining that I don't have any control over my life because my husband does not support me, my wife does not support me, my family does not support me, I have children to take care of, or my boss is an idiot and he does not understand the vision I have for this company. And just look at Epictetus, who was born into slavery, but then he rose as an esteemed philosopher. So just look at the scale of things that he had to do, the kind of mindset conversion that he had to take into consideration, and the kind of influence that he had to build, the kind of work that he had to do. So we can actually take a little inspiration from him. And today, since it is the last day, let us all celebrate 2021. Enjoy, party as much as you want, but come 2022, Start incorporating these principles by number one, defining what sort of person you want to be. You could actually say, this is the sort of person that I want to be. Take an example and then write all the characteristics that you have to incorporate to become that sort of person. That is what Epictetus says. And the book starts with that. There are 3 C's that you need to incorporate into your life as per this book. Number 1 is control. Number 2 is conquer. And number 3 is concentrate. So if you can control, see, the book, if there is one philosophy that I have taken away from this book, it is about controlling. Control your surroundings, control your life. There is nobody else who can do it for you apart from yourself. So, most of us generally blame the things that are happening around us, but we don't take control of our life. We can start by taking control of the day that you start with. For example, Joe, the average person who's just like you and me, let us say he tries to wake up at 7 a.m. But because he does not like the job that he does, or he does not want to start his day early, he keeps snoozing on the alarm. So by the time he wakes up, after snoozing 3 or 4 times, it is already 8:30 a.m. and then he starts rushing out the door because he is already late for work. But he did not have time to start his day properly. He could not have his breakfast. So he goes and grabs a donut on the way to his office. He consumes his coffee. He has his donut. But by 12 o'clock, he's again hungry because he did not have a hearty breakfast. Post that, he has his lunch. And because he wants to get to work quickly, he has a greasy lunch. So he has burgers, he has some fries, and then he gets back to work. But then he's feeling sleepy now because he had a fitful sleep as he had to snooze his alarm multiple times, and he is drowsy by now. He takes a small nap, but by that time it is already 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock is tea time here in India, so he goes for tea with his colleagues. Post that, it is 5 o'clock, and that is when he realizes that he still has 4 more hours of work to do. And that is when he starts getting into work. His wife calls him at 6 o'clock, asking him when he will be home because he promised to take his kids out for a movie. But now he has to complete his work, so he breaks that promise. That is what happens with most of us, right? But if you could control your day, if you could start your day a little bit early, if you could plan your events accordingly, you would be able to complete your work on time and also spend an amazing time with your family. And that is what this book talks about. Now, if you specifically look at the other things that you need to control your behavior. Most of us have so many negative thoughts. Not just us, but we also have people who induce those thoughts. It could be a colleague who is doing very well. It could be a neighbor who is growing rapidly while we are stuck at the same place. It could be an extended family member. No matter what triggers that negative point in you, you suffer and you make your family suffer because of that. If you could just control your behavior, wherein you say, okay, this is happening to my colleague, this is happening to my friend, this is happening to my extended family members, but these are good things and I am happy for them. I know that when my time comes, good things will happen to me also. I am working towards that direction, and I know for sure that things would completely change for me for the good in some time. I believe in that, and I am going to strive towards that and keep working on your goal. Then nobody can stop you from becoming successful. Now, there are certain hours in a day wherein we are at the most energiest. Have you actually looked at that? Have you observed that in your life? I generally feel that I am most active during afternoons. You must also have those hours. So you have to identify those special hours wherein you get to work on the number one priority of your life. If you look at all the books I have reviewed across this channel, I have always talked about the number one thing, and I have also reviewed it in the One Thing book. If you have not checked that out, I'll put it up there and also in the description. That is an amazing book that you have to listen to. So the one thing says that whatever is your number one priority, you have to start hacking at it the first thing in the morning. But I would suggest that rather than do it in the first thing in the morning, you work on it during the power hours that you have identified. If you feel more energetic during the first half of the day, work on your number one priority during the first half of the day. If you feel that you are more energetic towards the evening, then you should work on your goal towards the evening. Most of you might be in a job at this point of time, so you might not have the luck. You might be in a job at this point of time, so probably you might not have the luxury of freedom to start working on your goal any time of the day. If that is the case, then fix certain time for that goal. It could be early morning when you have more peace and there is nobody around you, or it could be late in the evening. It could be weekends. No matter what works out for you, try to take out some time every single day to start working on your goal. If you can put more concentrated effort over the weekends for continuously 4 or 5 hours rather than work one day every single day, then do that. See, at the end of the day, the book talks about creating rules for yourself that work for you. Most of the books that I have seen, they talk about rules creation, but they don't specifically give you any kind of freedom wherein you could create rules for yourself. But in this book, I have seen that the author talks about creating rules for yourself rather than incorporating somebody else's rules into your life, because all of our lives are different. Probably you are in different circumstances. I am in different circumstances. So if I just preach to the choir generally, that will not work. So whatever works for you, create those rules. But the most important thing is you stick by those rules. For example, you could create a rule wherein you say, I will not be eating past 7 p.m. I have been incorporating that rule myself, whereas in December, I have actually not done that. But apart from that, the other months of the year, I have done that and I was able to lose 6 kgs. So by incorporating a simple rule wherein we say by 7 p.m. I'll be completing my dinner, I will not be eating anything post that, you could actually create a lot of wonders in your life. You would feel more energetic, you would lose weight quickly if that is one of the goals that you have. My rules for life are, I am giving you a snippet of what my rules for life are. My number one rule is I will be pleasant and talk politely to everyone I meet. I generally do this as a rule because I want people to be pleasant and I want people to be polite. See, at the end of the day, probably you will not be meeting that person anymore. It might just be a chance encounter. So why do you want to create a bad impression for yourself and the person? You could just be polite. You could talk nicely to them. But of course, these are my rules. You could create a list of yours as well. My number 2 rule is I will cherish every new thing with a childlike wonder. Most of the times when I meet people, I'm very curious to ask them different questions. Many people probably, I don't generally ask questions regarding their personal lives. I'm more interested in how did they come upon this business idea, what made them start this business, things like that. So I generally ask them a lot of questions and I'm really curious about that. Most of the people might not take it in a positive manner. For example, my husband keeps saying that I should not be asking so many questions, but I love to know more about why they are doing what they are doing. So I keep asking them questions. What are your rules? Comment in the section below so I know that you have created rules for yourself and you are sticking to them. And probably I could learn from your rules as well. Now, apart from that, most of us don't start our day early. One of the reasons that I have seen specifically in my life is if I don't have a list of things to do in that specific day, then I generally don't get out of the bed. Since I run my own business, I have the luxury of taking longer nap or taking a longer time to get out of bed. But if I have a list of things to do, for example, today I am creating this video at 5:30 a.m. I wanted to do this video before everybody in this community wakes up, and there are so many noises around. As I have shifted homes, you can see the backdrop has changed. So I wanted to do this video and I woke up at 5:30 a.m. As long as I know what I'm going to do on that day, I'm okay to start my day early and get things done. Probably that is also the case with you. That is one of the reasons that you don't want to get up early. So start a to-do list. Once you create a to-do list, it is easy for you in your mind to figure out what different things you need to do. So you will start your day accordingly. Now, apart from that, what I have seen is one of the most important things that we generally don't do is at the end of the day, because every day is a struggle in life. So at the end of the day, sit down for 5 minutes and think about all the achievements that you have done for the day. Write it down, appreciate yourself, celebrate a little, because at the end of the day, what is life if you don't celebrate it every single day that you are being alive for? Now, this is an important ritual that you have to incorporate in your life. When you celebrate, you get good vibes and you will be more encouraged to start your every single day with energy. Now, apart from that, you also need to maintain a not to do list. Yes, you heard that right. That is a not to do list. Most of us have long to do lists, but we don't have any not to do list. For example, in our to do list, we might have a specific task wherein we say, I have to complete this work XYZ. But if one of your goals is to get fit, then your not to do list should have, as I said, one of the examples, you should not eat past 7 p.m. So make sure that you also have a not to do list and you incorporate it into your life. Again, this is all the rules that you have created for yourself. So you are only accountable to yourself. You don't have to answer to anybody else. But if you have created rules for your life, that means you want what is best for yourself, right? So stick to them and those will give you the best results. Now, there is a formula for good night. It is 10, 3, 2, 1, 0. The good night formula. See, most of the times we don't start our day early because we have had a fitful sleep. If you have had a peaceful sleep, then you would be ready to wake up as soon as the sun hits or as soon as the first ray of sunlight comes in. You would not just sit on the bed thinking about should I get up or not. And to have a good night, this is the formula, which is 10, 3, 2, 1, 0. 10 hours before bed, no more caffeine. That is, you should not consume caffeine products. It could be alcohol, it could be coffee, tea, etc. 3 hours before bed, no more food or alcohol. 2 hours before bed, no more work. 1 hour before bed, no more screen time. And 0, the number of times you snooze the button. So if you use this formula 10, 3, 2, 1, 0, you will have a great night. And if you have a great night, you will have a great start to the day. The book also talks about the 5 pillars for successful life. Number 1 is planning and preparation. Most of us, we fail to plan. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. At least this year, that is 2022, because New Year is coming and you know New Year is known for resolutions. Let us have good plans in place. Number 2, accountability. Most of us plan, but we don't have any accountability partners. We don't share our goals with anybody. That is the number 1 reason why most of our New Year goals fail. We probably have fitness goals, but come February, we are not into it anymore. And because we don't have any accountability partners or somebody that we have shared the goal with, there is nobody to ask us why we have stopped eating that healthy salad rather than eating that biryani. So, have accountability partners. Have somebody, a close friend of yours, who's monitoring your progress. Number 3 is social support. Social support in the sense, it is just not about taking support from the society, including your friends or family. It is also about supporting somebody else. Try to become a mentor. Do some social charity work this year, 2022. Trust me, that is a great feeling to have. No matter whatever is happening with your life, whatever is happening with your work, if you could take out some time to help somebody else, it would really, really, really get you a good feeling, and it is great karma as well. 4th pillar is incentive. At the end of the day, we are all humans. We crave a little something more. So incentivize yourself. Have great achievements written at the end of the day. It could be a small achievement such as not eating post 7 p.m. If you incentivize yourself, then you feel more energized to keep that goal going. The 5th pillar is deadline. Most of us have goals, most of us have planned for something, and most of us keep working at it. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a deadline, you don't know how much work you need to do. Because if you have a deadline, you know that if I have to meet, for example, let us say you want to lose weight and you have to lose 5 kgs. You keep thinking, I have to lose 5 kgs. But by when? If you have a specific deadline, let us say from January 2022 until January 2023, by New Year of 2023, I want to fit into that specific dress. So I want to lose weight. Or I want to be more energetic. I want to spend more time with my family and children playing around rather than sitting around because I don't feel the energy to play with them. So if you have those kind of goals, set a deadline for yourself. Most of us fail to set a deadline, and that is why we fail. Now, let us look at goal setting. Goal setting comes at the end of the book because all these fundamentals are very important before goal setting. Now, at any point of time, just have 4 goals. Most of us, we tend to think we are overachievers and we overplan. But for us as human beings, if you do 4 things at one point, that is more than enough multitasking. So number 1, the goal that you need to set for yourself is health. The health plan is very, very important because as we have seen through pandemic, if you don't have health, there is nothing that you can do in life. So health is the number 1 priority. No matter how much money you throw at your health, until and unless you are serious about it, until and unless you are really healthy, there is nothing that you can do. So become healthy. Have just one goal in your health segment. It could be, I will walk 10 minutes every single day for the next 1 year, or I will not eat post 7 p.m. That could be a goal as well. Number 2, wealth. At the end of the day, if you don't have money, you cannot do anything in this human life. So try to earn more. It could just be one goal. It could be saving more. It could be earning more. You could say, I want to save 50% of my salary for this year, and that is the goal that I have. Just work towards that one goal. The third segment in which you need to create goals is social self. Social self could be relationship with your spouse, relationship with your family, relationship with your friends. Take that extra time out to be with them, and you would definitely love the feeling. They would love you more for it. The fourth pillar is, of course, your personal enrichment. At the end of the day, if you don't have peace here, if you're not happy here, then you cannot achieve anything. You will not stick with your goals if you're not happy with the kind of life that you have created. So also set personal enrichment goals for yourself. It could be probably doing a little bit of meditation. It could be probably feeling proud that you are you. 2021 has been a roller coaster ride to many of us, including me. I have lost a family member in 2021, and it has been nothing but an emotional turmoil. I hope 2022 would be a great start. I hope the coronavirus goes away for good and we all can resume our normal lives and have a great life at it. This is Sirisha Varma, founder, chief strategist at brandingbypixels, a business strategy design and digital marketing company coming live to you from India. As you can see, my surroundings have changed because I have shifted homes. I'm sorry for the quality of this video, but I hope the audio is good. I am up at 5:30 a.m. just to record this video today, Friday, so that I can bring it to you for 2022. And I can reduce the noise pollution that seems to be rampant here in this location. But I am creating my studio setup here, so from next videos, this issue won't be there, I promise. If you like the content that I'm creating, please do subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. And remember, today is 31st, so celebrate with all the grandeur. But please be careful because Corona is still on. So celebrate responsibly. I'll see you in 2022. Wishing you all a very, very happy, healthy and prosperous new year from us to you. Please do take care. Bye-bye.